Ancient, and mostly just talking about obviously the performance on Vertigo that they're not happy with. Fang was the most vocal of all of them. He was the one really kind of taking charge and just saying, we're playing too rigid, too structured. We're kind of playing like the idea of what we want, and we're not reacting enough to what's actually happening in the server. So let's see if they change something here on Ancient.
Well, it's a quick play in towards Davy G, and South Soul, and they're going to go down very quickly. Complexity off to a great start. They're going to start the A side already. Mopaw's coming back, and he was the thorn in their side on the previous map. Let's see what he's got on the P2000, the old classic weapon. Not getting too many opportunities, and that's more like it from Complexity, Jason.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, just a quick, everyone's grouped up, rushing towards Donut, and the round's over pretty much immediately when they get those 2 entry kills. From there, it's all a recovery mission for MOVISTAR. So this retake shouldn't go anywhere. Holzerk up along the wall, easy headshot. It's just Alex. This round's going to go to Complexity. It's 1-0.
I was looking through this and going through the sea of complexity disappointments. There's one that you can add to it all, and it is the IM Rio 2023 American Close Qualifier, where they lost to MIBR on Ancient, and that was for a spot at IM Rio. And unfortunately, that's the story for Complexity, Jason. They're always kind of knocking on the door of finally making a breakthrough, but it never, ever happens.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of where Complexity is at. We had this conversation, too, in the previous map, where they feel like they're right on the cusp of, like, some kind of a solid win and solid tournament performance and run that's going to escalate the confidence and bring them up and carry them up to the next level. And, man, they're just really struggling to get over that hump. Especially when you consider how excited people were to see them after Katowice, after some of the good things there. Man, that was such a letdown yesterday, the series loss, and obviously the first map here against MOVISTAR. But make no mistake, this is a team they absolutely have to win. Or beat, I should say.
Well, they fueled up the fine bus as we head into the second round. It should be Complexity sailing to victory in a 2-0 fashion here. Right off the get-go in the second round of play. But MOVISTAR Riders, I've been impressed. This team just seemed to like completely switch off when they go home. I don't know what it is. They just go home, they don't do anything, they reappear, and suddenly they're making big wins happen. It could be the story today against Complexity, but still a while to go. That Cologne semi-final performance was... that running, rather, was pretty insane from the MOVISTAR guys.
Yeah, it really was. It very much put them on the map, and obviously they've struggled since then. Some roster changes, losing big-time player and some Pius, but I mean, man, you kind of have to look at it in this sense. What was the number that you guys put on the desk this morning? The 25% win rate for MOVISTAR, and I think you said even preceding last week it was like 16%.
Exactly, yeah. So they got their first best-of-3 win last week since November 2022.
Beautiful.
And they lost a bunch of Spanish regional tournaments as well against some smaller teams, so it has been pretty rough for them. But I do want your opinion on this, Jason, whether this is BS or it's the truth. Mopaz said last week that they think they can do even better with without Sampaius than they did with him. They peaked at number 5 in the world.
Yeah, that was an odd timing in the rankings. Even with that run of Cologne, I don't think they were even close to the number 5 team in the world after that. I think it was just a weird time in how the points all worked out to get them there. I think that's a bit of wishful thinking, perhaps.
He's huffing the copium.
It's kind of what you have to say, though, if you're inside the team, so you can't blame him at all.
Well, probably going to be wrong, but he is playing pretty well. He's a player that is just a little bit mental. You know, you see him just make these ridiculous plays, go super aggressive, and a lot of the time it doesn't work, but when it does, it just looks insane, and that's what happened on map number 1.
I remember Chad and I had a cool conversation at that Cologne with Mopaz. We did a little podcast with him, obviously so long ago now, but one of the things he mentioned was, I mean, he likes coming up with new ideas of how to approach different situations, and he doesn't always, like, he intentionally goes away from, like, textbook Counter-Strike at times to, like, make something happen, so he can be a very tricky player, and it's one of those styles where if that's the philosophy you bring to your game, sometimes it's going to look awesome, sometimes it's going to look like crap. Yep,
that's generally how it goes. I've been practicing my Spanish pronunciation of these players' names. You gotta, anytime there's like an S or a Z, I guess in the actual Spanish language, you gotta kind of lisp it a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So it's like Mopaz, Martinez, and Sasul. What do you think of that, Jason?
That's beautiful. I will not be ascribing to that.
I'm pretty sure that the South American Spanish is different to the European. language because of the way the king used to have a lisp, so it changed the sort of dialect.
It is, but
cool.
you're taking this conversation of languages into a sticky place for Americans, as you know. we generally
let's get back to.
We've barely got a grasp of English as it is, really.
Well, you know, it's very specific. But a good start here from Mr. Grimithy. Want to see a lot more out of him. In the last map that they lost, that one I'm referencing versus MIBR, the story was JT on top, Grim behind him, and everybody else kind of doing nothing. And that was a very similar story to the last map. JT on top, Yanko said it on the desk just before this map, but you can't really let that happen.
Yeah, that can't be a thing with the firepower, the strength of you know, the core of this complexity team. Like, even before you get to someone like Floppy, Fang, Grim, and Halzerk as this power trio, Floppy's able to deliver that as well. So if JT's at the top of the scoreboard, something's not going right. Opening kill provided by Celsel. And a 5-on-4 for the Movistar defense.
Yeah, now Alex and Mopaz set up to try and deal with his B plight. And they're running right into Alex. Floppy gets away with a MAC-10, and Halzerk with the wall bang. Perfect stuff here for Complexity. But a 3 versus 2, somewhat doable if Movistar Riders wanted to attempt it. But with that smoke, you probably just want to save that AWP.
That was bold for JT, though. Gave him the opportunity to get the spam through the smoke and maybe activate that retake. Still, you're exactly right. Going to prioritize the weapons. Movistar's going to fall back. Fantastic trading from Complexity coming into the bomb site. A good route run by Halzerk as well, swinging to the left to clear out the default boxes while the rest of the action takes place. And if you're Complexity, you got to feel confident here on Ancient. I mean, the huge win over Big yesterday, 16-8. That's Big's map pick as well.
Yep.
That's a fantastic fantastic showing from them. So a little bit of evidence to go off of that Ancient is a decent enough map for Complexity to be able to bounce back into this series.
I am interested in following the progression of Harry's transition into Halzerk. That's been
okay, is that what he's going for?
Yeah, he did say yesterday that that was kind of his inspiration, was to try and be like Halzerk. I could see it.
I can see it too. He has had a very flat haircut coming into the studio these past few days.
Have you ever wanted a mullet, Jason?
Never in my life wanted a mullet.
Well, that's good. That means you won't be disappointed.
But I respect the hell out of people that do.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to you. Here comes Complexity, knocking at the A door, and it's just Davy G with a 5-7. I don't think he's going to get many kills out of this one. He should be overwhelmed very shortly.
Only if they actually try and disrespect the smoke, which, I mean, if you're Complexity, you have to know this is a half buy. You have to know this is a low buy with the 2 saved weapons, so there's no reason to risk it when you have so many advantages once that smoke clears. And they're going to be very pleased now as they start to investigate, because it is just the sole defender of this 5-7.
Davy G under a lot of pressure, and now Heat as the Molotov goes in, clears him out of position, and I don't know how he nearly gets away with 2, but he just manages the 1 kill. Fine burns him away.
He did enough. It looks like they're a little bit timid now. They've been forced back into the choke point due to the dink, going to boost up and come right back forward, but smokes are going to make this a very chaotic situation as Celsel and Alex are in the bomb site, Martinez over in Donut, and there's no more smokes for Complexity to put down. They want a mistake.
Well, JT is the player being set up for success right now.
They might get it.
And I think he's about to get it. Oh, South Soul nearly turns up, but JT able to take him out. And Alex just overwhelmed. JT, the new carry of Complexity. It sees Martinez under a lot of pressure. At least gets 1. And Mopaz left alone with a 5-7. He'll be bursting through the donut. Found a chance here on Floppy, who's low. That's the player you want to fight, but it's Halzerk that takes it. A 5-0 lead here for Complexity on the T side. That's pretty sick. What a turnaround.
Yeah, really good job pumping the brakes and just pausing the action and making Movistar feel really uncomfortable with only the 2 saved weapons. Although, I mean, that round is so difficult. If Celsel doesn't push up and give away that kill with the M4, this one right here, I don't know really what Complexity does to get back into the round, because there's an M4 behind the bomb site boxes. That could have been really dangerous. So they got the mistake they were looking for, and it's 5-0.
We'll see what Fang is able to get away with. He keeps going for this aggressive mid-control, but the utility comes in from the Movistar Riders to make it a little difficult. So they're going to deploy a boost instead, but it is JT. Turns out he really is the carry right now, Jason. He goes ahead, gets himself a double, and the Tower of Doom nearly dismantled single-handedly by Davy G. He's going to pull away with just the foundations, and now we focus on Complexity's play and decide B. No one's here right now. And Alex towards the cave. He's hearing the steps, but is he able to do anything?
They're watching for it. They know someone's in there. What a great flashbang. JT struggles with it a little bit.
Couldn't control the garden hose there, but eventually gets it on target.
That's a great decisive call from Complexity, though. Double kill up the lane from JT to open up the round, and you realize the defense is going to have to shift, and attacking into the B bomb site, you're feeling no matter what, probably the most is one player, and Fang is going to take some guns away right at the end.
Yeah, Fang right behind Martinez. Davigi is with him. He's gonna. Oh! What a flick! I have enjoyed seeing Complexity a little bit more confident. I think last year it was kind of depressing watching them because they were just there was no reaction when they lost because they were just so used to losing. And we've seen them even on the online era. They were just sitting back in their chairs, depressed, just losing every single map. But it's crazy what just 1 or 2 wins can do for your mentality, and we actually get to see some of the personality come out of this team now. Fang, I think, is being especially vocal and confident, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, the only thing left for Fang is, I mean, he's living on a lot of potential right now. I think everyone can see the skills in his game. We're just waiting for it to be a more consistent revelation inside the server.
We're getting in on Fang early so we can see it go to the moon.
Exactly. Gonna have to hold that one for a bit. 6-0. Timeout comes to a close. Movistar's first, and they buy up what they can.
Not the most ideal start here from Movistar Riders. A lot of work to do. And Complexity shouldn't have too many issues.
They got money now as well. Hulzerg's up to 15K even after he bought into this round. So, I mean, Movistar is going to have to do this the hard way and grind this economy down with a huge streak at some point. First things first, just get one on the board. Martinez over at the A bomb site. Salsol with the M4 is in Donut, but the first kill comes out from Hulzerg. Mappa's peeking down the A ramp, deep.
Well, Fang's out mid. At least an elbow, and Salsol is going to walk right into his crosshair and still gets the up on him. That's a small chance here now in the round for Movistar Riders. They're going to climb up into the ledge.
Look at the challenge from Grim, though. Okay, Floppy sees 2 in middle. 1 goes down. Grim's already found his way into the A bomb site. You can see the bomb on the back of Hulzerg rotating through T-spawn right now. Oh, these are great kills. And Hulzerg's going to be challenged, but the 5-7 rings true.
And now the bomb's sending its way over towards A because of Grim. Look how far pushed up he is. He's in the temple right now, and Salsol's coming back to have a little bit of a look. Doesn't see anybody. Throws out the smoke just to cover off Donut.
Yeah, but it actually extinguishes the Molotov. That's a horrifying smoke. That's a very scary smoke with a gap in it.
We can't take down his 10-0 streak this way. He is going to get away. Still the Immortal. With the mullet, and Grim fights in towards CT. Alex caught, and now just Salsol trying to pull their first round from Movistar Riders. He's got to go into an op that's posted, and Hulzerg will not miss it. Another multi-kill round for Hulzerg. 11-0 currently. It's great to see him playing with this confidence.
Yeah, I mean, Hulzerg does the fragging. He's the powerhouse of that round, but it's Grim who makes the play to actually turn it in Complexity's flavor. The shift into the A bomb site, the challenge when everything's going wrong elsewhere. Perfectly timed to give Hulzerg the exact game plan. That's a quick shot. Good on Hulzerg, and good on Grim catching Martinez in rotation.
Well, Jason, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but over the last 3 months, this map's been played 4 times for most riders. They haven't won it a single time.
Yeah, that's not a great stat.
And they lost 16-5 to Saw. So things are looking very good for Complexity at the moment, especially with this start on the T side. Now, I guess the more interesting story to follow is whether or not Hulzerg dies at any point. Still yet to go down. And Floppy looking to make it hard in this round. Alex slipping through the smoke. He's just going to sit in it. And maybe a round like this is what's needed. But Floppy gets the up on them. Hulzerg comes in. And Floppy, with a second headshot, cuts open the B bomb site.
Oh, yeah. Well, this defense is just getting absolutely annihilated in every respect here on Ancient. It's not just opening kills, but it's the follow-up kills that are coming out for Complexity as well. 0 kills on Mappa's, 1 each on Alex and Martinez. There's just not a whole lot of fragging production from Movistar to put a stop to these attacks. About to be 8-0, and Complexity with all the money is on the hunt. Good one from Grim. Davigi knows he's not going to get away, and a TK for good measure.
Well, it's kind of depressing to watch, Jason, isn't it?
Well, not if you're, you know.
Yeah, not if you're North American, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. I'm having a great time.
You're having a great time up here, Jason. It's the happiest you've been. Well,
Spanish fans probably not, but I'm loving it.
at least they've got one map to celebrate. It's more than Movistar provided over the last few months, but this is looking real tough. JT even tries to help them out a little bit. The laughs are back in, complexities, emotions heightened. On the opposite side of the story here, I think this matchup's pretty good for Complexity in terms of being able to pull out a punish pick. Ancient's really comfortable for them. It's the opposite from Movistar. They couldn't really write a better story than getting a map pick that's so favorable to you. Even when you're playing so bad in the first map, this is a lovely safety net to fall back into.
Yeah, this is obviously a huge gaping hole in the Movistar map pool. Being exploited again. Let's see what Davy G's got. 5-7 behind the smoke. Dangerous, but he comes out on top of the exchange.
And right now, Complexity just in the driving seat completely, can just slow things down, play whatever style they want, try and figure out what Movistar Riders have in this round. And this is going to be the first fight. JT has been pretty incredible so far, trying to spam towards Mopaz's position and bait him into that fight. In the meantime, the other Complexity players have taken mid-control. Smoking out Red Room, flashing towards the donut, and here comes that late round play from Movistar Riders. It looks like they want to push down the B ramp here, Jason.
Oh, and they've actually got great timing. Outside of Hulzerk, utilities out, missed shot, They swing the corner. Davi's got two. Hulzerk's got to hold on, but he's got Grim in support. Calm and measured. Mopaz the next one up. Gives away his position and the play. Grim almost able to catch him as he falls back. And he'll get it.
He just chases him, he finds him in the corner. Mopaz not allowed to get away. And now Salsol left. An MP9 versus 3. 35 seconds. Complexity not left with a huge amount of options. They do commit into B. Maybe Salsol can get something going, but should be able to just trade him out. They're just looking for him, taking the time, but eventually that time will run out. Here they come in towards the B site. Salsol deep in the cave. When he exits, shouldn't really be able to do too much. He's going to go around the corner, smoke to cover off the planter. A quick kill on Grim, and Fang answers back, so doesn't let that one get out of hand. 9 rounds in a row for Complexity. This is a great day for Complexity right now if they can keep this up.
Well, let's not say great day just yet, because
I think so, Jason.
They did drop that first map.
I think you just mentally break Movistar Riders completely here.
Yeah, maybe you give him a goose egg, you give him a, you know, you wipe him out of the map completely. I won't jinx it. Yet.
It's been a while since I've seen a 16-0.
Oh, you've done it now. Jesus.
I knew it was coming. You gotta say it. I don't believe in all that superstition. I was talking to Heroic, actually, and they are very superstitious, apparently.
Sure. I can see that.
Yep, they have the whole... I thought the underwear thing was a joke, but they actually do just keep the same underwear if they win a game. It's kind of gross.
Okay. Do they change it out every time they lose?
I'd assume so.
Okay.
And keep the same pair when they win.
A few washes in there.
Hopefully.
You'd hope?
Hopefully. Oh, Hulzerk still yet to die. 13-0. Many people call this an unlucky number. We'll see if he is able to continue forward. Grim's going to get up on the boost. We've seen Complexity make this work a couple of times. Hulzerk getting taken down low, but Grim will assist him and keep him up and get that first kill on Davy G, but there's still 2 players to figure out how to remove here, and Grim, okay, do it that way. Just jump into the air, and nearly a chance. Hulzerk has gone down at the 13-0 mark. He's now 13-1, and Alex picks up the rifle, gets caught by JT. Now Martinez looks to strike from the temple. His prayers may be answered as he gets a pick, and that's the bomb down loose.
Fang's got to try and slow this down. He's in a very tough situation to try and make it work. He knows where both players are, but Floppy's coming in on a flank. Huge headshot. Martinez, oh, he turns around. Floppy made noise, and it's all on Fang. And he's going to book it to the other bomb site. Does Martinez read this? Does he take the gamble and book out?
I like how quick this call has been made for Fang. The decision just to get out of there and get back over to B. It's going to give him an extra few seconds to position himself after he puts that bomb down as well. Off he goes. Martinez is still looking around A, but it's the opposite site. Fang has some utility to play with. He'll log that bomb plant in. Martinez now realizes and starts to sprint to the opposite side of the map. But where does Fang decide to go with this one? Straight into cave.
Tuck behind the box. Martinez has to go for it with this kind of a
smoke.
scoreline. He does, but no kit is the real problem. Even if you want to smoke the bomb, that's a long diffuse, and it feels like Fang is going to win this one out just based off time. Martinez is taking his time. He's patient, trying to clear the corners, and at some point, he'll take a risk.
No, Martinez has read this one. At the moment, at least, he's going to smoke out the bomb. Try and pull Fang into the peak in the no-scope. It's a low percentage try, but it goes Fang's way. 10-0 for Complexity. It's not ruined yet, Jason.
No, not yet. However, you did ruin Halzerk's score.
Hopefully that's the caster curse out of the way for this game.
Yeah, we got the one jinx in there. This is a good shot from Fang. That's a really tough round to manage for him, so fair play to a great clutch. Just a solid clutch. He had all the advantages, and he played the game to him.
Look at this buy the MOVISTAR Riders going to have to come to the table with. His couple of MP9s, a couple of Famali, and P250 is the quick play in the mid. I guess it's just the best buy possible, as they've got 3 kills. What a wild call for Complexity just to sprint into middle.
Yeah, I mean, one player from MOVISTAR got past that smoke. I think Fang was the first one out. While he's looking left, someone's wrapping all the way around him. So Halzerk and Floppy to give a good attempt at recovering a 2v5.
Well, it might be ruined now, Jason.
Yeah. It is your fault as well.
Yeah, definitely not the call for everyone to rush mid. Well, it's a massacre out there in middle, and a lot of spoils of war to pick up.
Problem is, like, what really sucks for Complexity is because this is such a comprehensive opening exchange in the favor of MOVISTAR, and because it's a low buy, you can't even really punish Economy by just, getting 2 or 3 kills. They're going to have some upgrades down mid into AK-47s. Halzerk's going to go challenge right back into it. I don't think he's seen that elbow just yet.
Hell, he's creeping out. They've actually realized they've got a bit of space. It's this jump peak that is the first point of information. And now they realize Halzerk's whereabouts. But can he get anything done? His teammates beside him in the form of Floppy. And even with this huge lead, Floppy has been relatively quiet. Maybe this is the round to find some loud impact.
25 seconds. This has got to be quick off contact.
Well, they're letting Halzerk be the contact player, and he misses the shot. It's now on Floppy. 19 seconds left. Goes back in towards A. There's 2 players here. Martinez out towards the default boxes, and Davichi at big box. He's not going to check for Martinez, and nearly gets his gun out in time. But it is MOVISTAR Riders finally taking their first round.
And MOVISTAR Riders get 3 AK-47s and an AWP all for free based off those SMGs, based off that FAMAS. So right back into it with the strong loadout going into round 12. Yeah, it's Davy G who just kind of beats JT, on the entry. So JT never sees him, and that wide angle was able to be so effective.
Who knew there was all down to MP9s and FAMAS just running in mid? That was the round that they win. The most unlikely.
A little bit of craziness, a little bit of a mid-rush from the CT side.
Back to normality right now for the side of Complexity. They'll send some util out mid. Fang looks the pressure. They've gone for this boost a couple of times. Will they get anything from it? Fang is just sitting on top, not seeing anything yet. Another smoke comes in, but it's deep. And so Fang should actually be over the top of the second smoke, but MOVISTAR Riders know the timing. They back away. They're not going to be caught by that.
It's all right. He's able to at least protect his teammates, able to get that lane control on JT and Floppy as they move up. He's able to show and say, no one's pushing mid, no one's jumping up on the box. So JT and Floppy can move with confidence and start taking control of Jaguar.
Look at this setup right now from MOVISTAR Riders. It's very heavy towards the B-bomb site. Well, Complexity are coming this way. And Mopaz let off the leash, gets the double. And that's the kind of move we know this guy for.
And that's the kind of move based off that rotation. When you have 4 defenders there, you don't mind being that aggressive if you're Mopaz because you have another teammate with you in cave to pick up the pieces, and you've still got 2 more defenders back at the bomb site if it really goes to hell.
As a win-win scenario, essentially. And now Complexity once again in a difficult spot where they're down a lot of players early.
Down a lot of players and losing the battle of information across the map. Mopaz and Davy are actually investigating. They're already in mid, so they know that the end goal for Complexity is this A bomb site, which allows Alex to shift over. And that's a perfect lineup for a double spray down. And there's Martinez. All 5 survive, and MOVISTAR string 2 together.
Yeah, the 5-round bar is still possible, but the problem is you're still 10 T rounds down at the moment. So it isn't going to be easy, but they need every single round they can get in this first half. Did see the first round of the 1v1 tournament happen today, Jason. How are you feeling about your chances?
I'm going up against Maui Snake in the first round. I just set up my config this morning. Maybe get a little warm up later on today, but you know, quietly confident.
That's good. I mean, it is the old generation of North America versus the new.
Maui's biggest game is his smack talk. He delivered a pretty solid line on the broadcast yesterday. I know his plan is to try and, you know, smack talk his way to get into my head, and it's just not going to work.
You've been around, Jason.
I've been around. I'm experienced.
I've been watching some history lessons. I've been seeing what you're capable of back in the old CPL days, Jason. It was quite a throwback.
Yeah, Maui's biggest accomplishment coming like ESEA main. Like, it's not an impressive resume.
So what you're saying is like an amateur player with a lot of talk and not a lot of skill to back it up.
The classic North American who's just smack talking, being mediocre.
Sick. Well, that is the Maui way. He's not even from Maui, as many people know. True Snake. Round 13. And MOVISTAR Riders off the back of a very convincing win. A flawless round, in fact. Everybody stays up. Complexity have started to slow down towards the end of this half. Halzerk hasn't had a kill since he died for the first time. And maybe this kill from Grim can be everything. He's sitting in the corner. They walk right into him and nearly doubles up. But that's a lot of info.
But you can also see this shift in the philosophy from MOVISTAR, like the push from Mopaz in the previous round, now over at A. They're really trying to take control of the situation and have some idea on the map, and they probably feel like playing passively. They've just been getting punished, so they want to take it into their own hands, and unfortunately, it's all crumbling. After the opening kill from Grim, Complexity's been able to just destroy any follow-up move, and there's Fang as well. And this is just MOVISTAR being punished for trying to get a grip on this round.
The worrying thing is, sure, that play from Mopaz earlier was pretty sick, but they're the only 2 kills he's had this entire game so far. So 2-11, and that's a big drop-off considering what we've seen over on Vertigo. He's the top fragger by far, pushing towards 30 kills, now struggling to even get some on the board. It's been a huge flip. And Complexity up to 11 rounds on the T side. I don't like to often call games done before we get into the second half, Jason, but it is feeling that way right now.
Yeah, it is. It's feeling far, far out of reach for MOVISTAR. Especially with Complexity able to build upon this. And then this, I mean, the 2 wins are nice for MOVISTAR. And if they get to 5, maybe they can fight back into it. Obviously, that's out of their control now. Maybe if they can get to 4. But I mean, then you get to the other issue that they've had in this half, where Complexity was able to build up so much money that they're not at any kind of a risk of saving anytime soon. Like this entire half, they've had everything they've wanted in every single round.
Now coming into the rest of the series.
Inferno's the third map.
Inferno being the third map. How do you feel about that one if Complexity closed this convincingly?
I think you'd feel, I would feel good in Complexity's favor for that. I mean, being the favorites, and obviously, especially if we're going to see this Complexity that's shooting like this at the moment, it's making moves like this that we have here on Ancient. Oh, good flashes defensively, and a big boy trade for Mopaz, 2 for 1.
2K from a similar move. Aggression in towards the B lane. Martinez, did he just spot him cross?
No, he didn't.
He didn't. The timing just worked against him. All right, now Grim's just going to walk around the back of him.
He might have a lineup with Mopaz rotating over.
Oh, here comes the true Grim drop. Oh, he's found himself a kill. Just the one, though. Mopaz didn't like it.
I think Halzerk heard that hit. Mopaz maybe. Fangs peering over the top. They've got a flank to worry about as well, but first they have to get this bomb planted. Halzerk's in the open.
Oh.
It was going to be one or the other. Fangs got Davy G, but he's got nowhere to go after the fact. Can't get down, and he's dropped by Alex.
What a round from Mopaz. And I mean, in the round we were just talking about his lack of performance. A 4K coming in. This is huge. He's had 2 rounds where he's got kills, and he's already reached that of his teammates. He's up there average mid-table, 6 kills. 3 of his teammates have that as well. That's a little worrying, but definitely an important round to find. Now you've got to secure this 4th one.
If you can, but especially with the plant, another full buy for Complexity, 4 AKs and all the utility in the world.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's very nice. That's a good transfer. I don't think Grim spotted Mopaz, but regardless, switching to the Molotov was not the play, despite his early jump on the shift into the A bomb site. Final round of the first half.
Martinez, oh, misses the shot, but look how much damage Complexity take on the walk into the B side. They're sprinting forward towards Alex, who just handles them. 2 kills picked up, and the speed does not work. They tried 2 rounds here in this half for Complexity with some speed behind it, and both of them punished. So it will be a 4th round at the half here for MOVISTAR Riders. JT, nice headshot.
He's sharp today.
He is very sharp. He had some bangers, JT, over the last few days.
This does feel a little bit like a throwaway round from Complexity just to close out the half. We have this huge lead. Let's just rush B. They might not expect it. And obviously running through the flames, running through the nades. Softened them up for the defense. 11-4, Complexity in a commanding lead on map 2. And we'll see how it concludes right after the break.
Pay attention to
yeah, feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now. Told him on the lay. I've been moving dog. Yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk. Don't care what they say. I don't got no patience. I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it. Running up all these digits. And I've been in the gym. I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work. Told them it's strictly business. And I see through the face. They all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the
Complexity take an 11-4 lead heading into the second half over the MOVISTAR Riders. They do love freedom, and well, that half definitely looked free, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, they did a phenomenal job working the map, and obviously individually just on a crazy level. Now, I think it also helps, obviously, as you highlighted in the first half, MOVISTAR has a 0% win rate on this map in the last 3 months. So, yeah, a bit of a punish pick here, and it's working out really well for Complexity.
Well, coming into the second half, we did this earlier, I think, a few casts ago, where we have a cup with a couple of song lyrics, Jason. Mine is,
don't show it to the world. You just got to work it in.
No, but the point is, we got to figure out how we do it. But here we go. South Soul and Dabby G finding kills pretty quickly. 3 for the MOVISTAR Riders in quick succession, and now just JT. Only Halzerk left. He's trying his best to fight towards CT. Actually has a chance here if he can bring this first player down, and he will do exactly that. Now in an awkward fight with Alex, who has the bomb, who's desperately hoping his teammate gets back over here to help. And Halzerk, I don't know how he's still alive, but finally they put an end to him by 100 paper cuts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that took quite a minute. An extended little drawn-out battle with the pistols. But MOVISTAR take it in the second half. So at least a little bit of a springboard to perhaps to perhaps launch into a comeback.
Definitely. But Salsol, he's been impressive. You know, he's a player I didn't know too much about coming into this Movistar Riders side. And we didn't have to see him a lot because they just played in a lot of online tournaments. But over the last few weeks, we've got to see a bit more of him. Seems like a pretty solid replacement for Deaths. Been enjoying his level. And now Mopar is sitting back. Here comes that bottom B-Ram smoke. He's under quite a bit of pressure, but it's Fang that's under the most. They're pushing through Donut. Alex at the front of the pack with a MAC-10, and Fang is just going to completely relinquish control of the A site. He's going to play from CT. He's going to pull a couple of teammates over to help him. But that smoke up, you can't really do anything about it. So off to the Temple he'll go. And Flash goes through in towards Temple, just holding Complexity back. That's not the smoke you want to see, Jason.
No, I mean, this might actually just be, yeah, I think this is going to be in a save call. Fang is bailing out where that smoke is in the choke point, so yeah, just rinse and repeat. We'll try it again in the next round. You have the Deagles in armor, you have the Scout, just don't mess with it whatsoever. So Complexity backing off, but Mapaz wants some bonus money with the MAC-10, and he's only going to get the 1. Good trade from Grim, and Movistar gets up to 6.
Well, they found every step needed to get this second half going pretty quickly, right? You find the pistol, you win the follow-up, you don't lose the force buy. The thing is, Complexity still pose a threat in the next round now that you save 4 players. So you've got the MAC-10, the MP9s, and the Scout for Fang. So there still is a shot to pull off this round for Complexity, but Movistar Riders certainly favored to continue this comeback, at least in the second.
I think it's actually, I'm not going to say it's important, but I think Complexity, at some point, you have to be saying, okay, that was a great first half. 11-4, the T side of Ancient, phenomenal showing. Close this out easy. You know, don't let this drag out. Don't let these guys come back into it. Just capitalize on the work you did in the first half and put it away and move on to Inferno. You don't want to start getting into that feeling where heading into Inferno, you're like, oh man, we lost the first map in such disappointing fashion. We let them back in. Just get there and close it.
Old trauma starts to rise up again. Well, just make sure you take this one as cleanly as possible, and winning this kind of round would go a long way. Fang in the donut. Flash is dodged. It actually goes under the ledge a little bit so he doesn't get caught by it. Sends a shot out, so they know the Scout was towards Donut, but he repositions very quickly.
Yeah, and that's not a bad reposition. The problem is the Scout is not ever going to hold off this 3-man hit. If Alex, Davigi, and Martinez keep moving forward, man, this is going to be tough for a Scout to hold on to.
Salsol. He's putting some pressure on the boosted player, and Fang connects immediately onto Davigi. And Salsol can't get anywhere. He can't move forward. Grim's just locking him in. And this donut fight, that was huge to win for Mopaz. Holzer just goes on a bit of a walk and gives away the advantage for Complexity. And now Martinez pushing through CT spawn, catches JT at the back of B. And now Floppy has to do everything with the MP9, and Mopaz is just the god on the MAC-10, it seems. He'll upgrade into the MP9 or laterally move towards it.
Ooh, nice
shot.
Yeah, that's great from Grim. There's the pounce and nice transfer down from Alex with 1 health. Grim wants to find a way to secure this AK-47. With Malpaz and Alex at low HP, I don't think there's going to be too much of a hunt, so he should be relatively safe just parking himself in this position.
Yeah, save that AK on over to the next. Complexity do a lot of damage. Look how close they are to bringing down a few extra players there. Mopaz on 4 HP, Alex on 1. Could have been a very expensive round here. Yeah, we're still going to have to rebuy on 2 players. But Complexity now look at a scoreline of 11-7. Movistar Riders still in this game. But it is where this game is going to start to heat up, and the challenges present themselves to Movistar Riders when we head into this next round, because the money is now available for Complexity.
In a big way. M4 has picked up AWP on Holzer by virtue of the saved AK-47 from Grim. JT's got some extra money in the bank to spend if they need it. That can be an op dropped over to Holzork if he drops it. And let's see what Movistar can do now in the gun rounds. 4-round lead for Complexity. Mid control provided by Fang and Holzork.
Well, they're given quite a bit of space to play with here to Movistar Riders, and Fang under a lot of pressure. Not the most ideal play, and Holzerk also gets caught. Ooh, that is tough to watch.
That's a crappy mid defense.
Yeah. That's the best way of putting it, Jason.
That was really, I don't know.
That sucked.
Half-assed, it felt like.
Yeah, the problem is the utility looked kind of crap as well, right? That was the initial problem, is you just let them walk out elbow, and Fang realizes that, thinks he can maybe get around the smoke.
He misses the timing on the flashbang, I think. I don't think he expected that last flashbang to come out, because he dodged the first few as he was working around his own smoke to get that push. But the fact that Holzerk is in the position where he's so committed as well, that's just like really weak if one person, as Fang did, just goes down. So Complexity is going to have a decision to make in the next round, because they won't be able to afford the AWP onto Holzerk, but JT can obviously drop an M4 over to a teammate.
Is this where it begins, Jason? Is this where Complexity just fall off?
Yeah, they might make us a little bit nervous as this half goes on.
We've been here before, many times, in fact. Sometimes Complexity can drop the ball against what you would say on paper lesser opponents. But I don't know how you recover mentally from losing this kind of game. At least we do have that triple elimination set up.
Well, look, I mean, even if they go down to triple elimination, yeah, they still have more time to get back into this group and make a little bit of a run. But, I mean, that's such a damning indictment of a Complexity that we expected good things out of in this tournament.
No, TC having his say.
Losing yesterday to Big with the new Opper in the lineup, who admittedly played incredibly well.
Yeah, Complexity have lost a couple of rounds in both days so far that they should just win. I mean, there was a few rounds on the previous map where MOVISTAR Riders came into a couple of pistols, just some speed catches Complexity off guard, and they just dropped the ball. Yesterday against Big, that was a frustrating one to just watch from their perspective. And you know, from talking to Floppy this morning, that he felt the same way. They felt like they just should have won that. They throw away a lot of crucial rounds. Watching that demo back was probably painful. And they can't lose this one. They cannot drop the ball here.
That extra kill that JT gets right at the end helps him afford the AWP and get a little bit of extra utility flush in his bank as well. So that's actually a pretty big frag at the end of the round.
Well, an adjustment on how they're playing middle.
Ooh.
And Floppy goes to fight early, and Martinez, he was so advanced with the AWP, comes away with the opening kill, and Complexity down a player with pretty much the entire round still to play.
That means it's going to pull Grim out of the A bomb site more towards Donut to assist Fang and JT in middle if there's any kind of a swing, but a huge advantage provided by MOVISTAR.
Well, Davies is patient now. MOVISTAR Riders realized once you're a player up, you can just settle into this one. You dictate the pace of the round completely, especially with not only an opening kill, Jason, but they got full mid control.
Deep flashbang, but no aggression behind it.
The only player gathering info right now is Grim.
Yeah, and the problem is he's also all alone. There's no one at the A bomb site. He's in Donut. Fang has started to shift over towards B, now reconsidering his options. But Grim's going to have to put that Molotov out, which is going to give away the information. And now he's going to have to try and fight, but the flashbang's not perfect.
MOVISTAR Rider is actually just destroying them right now. They're just getting every opening. Just cleared out Grim, no problem. It's so methodical. And they've even got one player on that lurk cutting off rotations. That's Mopaz up towards the B lane. And 35 seconds remain. Fine plays in Temple. Another great piece of utility that just gets them off that initial angle, and they can just slip out, put the bomb down. They can't do anything about this.
No, Fang's got to try and just save the weapon again. So hold the phones, we've got a game. Now, if they can save these three weapons one more time, obviously the AWP is a very critical piece of that. Floppy's got money to rebuy. Grim's going to get 3,400 due to the losing bonus. So you imagine Holzerk could even drop an M4 over. They'll have another strong buy in the next round. But Complexity's holding on for dear life. This is a lot of early pressure being applied by MOVISTAR.
Not a single round in the second half found for Complexity yet, and when you usually pick up 11 T rounds in Ancient, I was even flirting with the fact it could have been a 16-0, Jason, with the way things were going. And I thought it might be over. I thought Complexity had done enough, but MOVISTAR Riders, tenacious team, they find their way back in again. And just a couple of rounds away from tying this game up.
Yeah, they still got a ways to go, but I mean, the early returns, right? The first two gun rounds going in their favor pretty convincingly. 5 players survived in this one. 4 players survived in the previous. Well done from Martinez, even blind. And this is just the 2 opening kills, the 2 only kills in the round provided by the AWPer. Another crack at it for Complexity.
No, the smoke goes out towards middle. Red Room smoked out. Just one Molotov from the CT side, so Alex can use that information to likely realize they're playing that passive setup with one in red, and you just get this mid control for free. Davichi just walks up and takes it. He's up the top of the red stairs, and he's going to fight Fang and find the kill. Another big opening from MOVISTAR Riders, but he goes around the corner with a smoke in hand, and that nearly cost him that advantage immediately.
Yeah, but that's step one accomplished. MOVISTAR, another opening essentially for free. Much like the previous round, and now they get to slow the round in their favor. Now they're going to start making this defense shift and guess and wonder, because nobody has information. And once again, MOVISTAR's hitting the weak part of the map. Floppy all alone at B. He's got to keep his eyes on Cave. He's got to keep his eyes on B ramp as well.
He's in a really tough position. He's surely going to be hung out to dry here. He'll stay inside of the cave. Eventually, Alex will activate, and Floppy's just trying to catch the good timing. And he does win the most important fight. Takes Alex down, but takes a lot of damage in the process, and that is going to make him soft enough for that HE grenade to finish off the round.
And again, I think Complexity's got to make the decision to save.
They do.
Yeah, they're backing off already. Hulzark just covering the retreat, but no stance, no avenue in this. Complexity have yet to fight for a gun round in this second half.
Yeah, they haven't really even been in a position where you feel like they're actually competing.
First round was Fang and Hulzark aggressive in middle, both get deleted. It's a round win for MOVISTAR. Second round is the alt pick from Martinez on towards Cave. I believe that was Floppy. And now here it's Davi providing an opening kill onto Fang.
Yeah, this is what we call the tumble dryer effect. It's when you're just not in it at all. You're just constantly getting immediately killed, rolling around.
Might be time for another timeout for Complexity. They're
They
going to
don't
have
have any left. I think it's the last one coming up now if they use it. But it's looking real rough. So they have one more after this. And they have decided to go for it.
Too easy. Too easy for Davi and then the space to work with.
I think the problem is the mid control right now for Complexity because they tried the aggressive mid take with two players, Hulzark and Fang early, and got punished. And I think that's going to scare them back into playing the more passive setup. But even then, now MOVISTAR Riders are just taking that mid control and doing whatever they want with it. Let's see what their decision is coming out of this timeout. What changes we might see in this Complexity defense, because as you said, they haven't even been able to challenge for a gun round. So you have to change that up immediately.
They need to find a way, if they do lose the opening kill, if they do lose a player and are playing 4-on-5, they need to find a way. You can't just rotate around the map and be passive everywhere, right? You need to shift into a position where you can be a little aggressive, go investigate and go hunt down the situation and see what's coming. See if you can get your teammates in a position to put a stop to something in the late round. This time they do want to challenge for mid, and they've taken so much damage already from nades.
This is so good for MOVISTAR Riders with the utility, but this time they're going to get the opening on the Complexity side. Grim sticks around. Even though he gets battered and bruised, the nades come in and bring him down to low health. He stays in position, and he fights for that opening, and that's a great start for Complexity in comparison to what we've seen.
Yeah, and now they can, I mean, now that they're in these more passive positions deeper into the bomb sites, even if they're not aggressive, they at least have players doubled up. They're at least in a position to work together. Fang and Grim over in Donut. Watching mid and A. Hulzark watching middle.
Mopaw's looking to pull this kill back. He'll creep down the ledge. In the meantime, Complexity are making a mid-round move too. They've pushed down B for info, and they've got it, and they're just going to drop back.
This might be too early in the round, though, without mid control to make that assumption.
Hulzark's making a lot of noise. And because of the advanced setup of one player in red, Mopaz can just activate and catch out JT. Ooh, Complexity letting this one slip. MOVISTAR Riders right back into it.
Oh, there's Salsol. He's out in
shot.
A. Missed shot. Now it's got to be Grim to address. He's low from earlier. Opening provided. Fang still in Donut. They don't know he's there. That's the kill. Now they have an idea.
Well, Hulzark is about to get smoked off, and they wait for the smoke. They don't round the corner, spamming a few bullets towards his position, but time is certainly of the essence. 13 seconds left. Molotov clears out default. There's still a player in Donut. Fine could be the spoiler of this whole party, and the bomb is down. They have to get on it and immediately plant now, and there's no time. They can't win the round. MOVISTAR Riders lose this one, and Complexity finally finding themselves around, and Mopaz doesn't go down after the time.
Well, that's the op taken away from Complexity. Hulzark's got money to rebuy it, but man, that's so sketchy down the stretch. MOVISTAR maybe slow playing it just a little bit too much, and Complexity didn't like that even out of a victory. Another timeout, but they lost 4 players. An expensive round. Not a very convincing one either.
No, not convincing at all. You know, you get that opening, you turtle up, and then you make that play in towards B, and then they start rotating towards the A side on that info, as you said, maybe a little bit too early to play reactive on that in the round. And you heard Halzark moving, making that rotation, and that's the timing for Mopaz to go through and cut down a few of the defensive players.
You made a point earlier, and I think it's dead on. A lot of the production and a lot of the advantages that Movistar have gained, and a lot of the good things that they've done in these rounds are stemming off of middle. These pushes in towards Red Room, the mid control into an opening pick, into just slow playing it and working between the maps.
We'll see if Complexity continue with this aggressive mid setup. They tried a two-man setup in mid in the previous round. These smokes just keep coming out immediately out of spawn from Movistar Riders. There's 3 in. 1 used to dispel the early incendiary, and then 1 out towards Donut and 1 towards Red. You get Davy G up towards this position again.
They've had this a couple times already, so why go away from it? You're just like, these 3 smokes and this utility has done enough for Davy G to get into this position, and this is really early for him to be here. 1 minute and 20 seconds still left on the clock.
And look at the CTs. Complexity are having to deploy so many smokes already just to try and maintain control of the map for a few extra seconds. And Davy G's decided he's not going to stick around at Red. He'll drop back into mid, apply pressure towards Donut. Complexity have got to feel really suffocated right now.
And they're so worried about middle. They have a really weak defense at this B bomb site. Halzark and Floppy are here. JT and Grim just now going to investigate in mid.
Martinez with the smoke at the ready. Movistar Riders about to head into this B site. Some info now being picked up in mid for JT. If he can come up the ledge at the right time and he has a teammate beside him, maybe they can do something about this. But the initial B hold needs to be strong. And Alex is here cutting off these flanks, cutting off these players trying to come and give some help to Complexity. And Alex easily takes the first, and the second is even better. And Fine now making up for the mistakes of his teammates and the shortcomings of Complexity. He's got himself another. The bomb goes down. It's Grim and Fine trying to pull this one off.
Grim's up next. He's got to do something, but he was just smoked off, so Grim's going to readjust. He might have a timing on Malpaz.
Yeah.
Oh, but the pre-aim wasn't ready for the push. And Malpaz cracks it open. Fang has to fall back. Surely he's going to get one more. He'd have to be on for the ace and the clutch.
He's got some time to work with, and Salsol might offer him up this 1v1 fight. He's committed down B, but Fang isn't moving very quickly. And there's that kill. Now it's just a 1v1, but the time. And that's the problem. He doesn't feel like it's a good shot at winning this, so he's going to drop back with the AWP of 4K from Fine, but it's not enough. The rest of his teammates, even though the rotation was there, unable to hold. And Movistar Riders push over to 11.
Yeah, and this is fantastic from Movistar, and that win takes most of the money away from Complexity. They lose Fang with the op right at the end of the round.
Damn, I'm really worried now for Complexity because this is looking like they're completely out of control. They've used all the timeouts. They've tried a couple of different looks towards middle.
Halzark, when he goes down to that Molotov, he actually has a smoke in his pocket as well. He could have dropped that in cave to allow them to double up on ramp, or dropped that at ramp and allowed them to double up on cave, or just watch the smoke. This is a Complexity defense that seems very disorganized and discombobulated. Yeah, frustrated's a good one as well.
I mean, you've seen Grim trying to hold back his emotions there. He's clearly not happy with how things are going, and there's no reason to be at the moment.
It's 8-1 run in this second half for Movistar to come roaring back. They're about to tie things up as Complexity, finally a round where they weren't able to bring any weapons into the next, have to descend into a half-buy.
A little bit more tentative this time from Movistar Riders. Trying to figure out what Complexity have brought to the table in this kind of round. Try and flush out any stacks, any utility they might have. They burned one of their smokes there with that donut. Molotov now just Floppy left with the final smoke as we head under 1 minute. The bomb looking to shift its way back to B. So do the majority of the forces of Movistar Riders. If they come into Jaguar, there is a clothesline set up between Floppy and JT. This feels like the only way Complexity get a shot in this round.
Yeah, this has to work. First one up is Floppy. He's been spotted, taken down. The immediate spin. Mopaz, another crucial double kill. That kill's not going to do enough to turn it, but an AK-47's always nice for Fang.
Yeah, it's just another story of saving it likely here. He's already off.
It's tied up, though, and there's no timeouts for Complexity. All this is going to be done on the fly. They've got to get a grip on this half.
We've seen so many different looks and attempts out of the CT side. It's really hard to be confident about Complexity being able to close this out. Mopause, he was incredible on map number 1. At the start of the second half, very quiet, but he's come in with some huge impact towards the end of the first half, and now in the second half, he's just walking all over them. 16 kills, now leads the scoreline for his team.
What a reversal as well when you think yesterday against Big, Complexity put 10 CT rounds up on the board. Today, they're stuck on just 1.
It's kind of crazy how we're watching such a turnaround, and we're looking at the MOVISTAR Riders. They got absolutely destroyed by Heroic.
There's got to be a shift in the mentality on the Complexity side. This is where you want someone like Grim, someone like Holzerk, Fang, or Floppy, one of those, like someone has to make a play. Someone has to have a big round that gets some energy back into this team, gets the communication back going. I know speaking with Grim earlier today, he felt like that was one of the issues they had yesterday in their lost series. Felt like they weren't communicating nearly to the level they usually do. And you have to imagine it's pretty quiet and depressing over there on the Complexity side of things during this second half.
Yeah, nothing's been working for you. Another passive mid setup for Complexity.
This is that same 3-smoke offense from MOVISTAR to open things up. Now, because there's a defensive smoke as well, daviG's still just going to force his way through and already got control. But at least Complexity's being active on defense.
Yeah, they're responding with some B-lane aggression, but daviG's up inside of the red room again. And given the presence towards B-lane, he suspects there might be a bit of a gap in the defense towards mid. And so his teammates are here with him. The bomb in middle, a really passive setup for Complexity at the moment.
And with Holzerk positioned at the A bomb site with the AWP, they feel like they can stack elsewhere on the map. 4 players on the B side of the map for the defense, and now shifting again as Grim comes over to middle.
MOVISTAR Riders signaling they want to go towards A for this finish.
Oh, Fang's going to walk right into this.
He's going to walk right into the AWP, and that's an easy kill for MOVISTAR Riders. First blood in round 25 goes the way of the Spaniards.
That's a bad decision when you don't have any control of middle or any information.
Another one.
Yeah, the AWP is positioned to shut down all the rotations, so it's only Holzerk. Missed shot due to the jiggle of Celsol, and MOVISTAR don't want to deal with it. Looks like they might want to readdress across the map, and daviG still waiting for his moment to pounce, pushed in middle.
Just letting this one breathe at the final 30 seconds. Holzerk taking some chip damage.
It's done. MOVISTAR have the perfect read. Mopaz is already shifting in towards Cave. They're going to investigate the B bomb site. Nobody's home. Even if davi goes down to Floppy, they're going to say, oh, that's the A defender that's already parked there alone.
Yeah, all he needs to do is just delay them at this point. So he doesn't really even need to get involved in this fight. And that's why he's deployed the smoke. The bomb will go down on the other end of the map. And Complexity, another save call. This has just got to be in the back of their heads, like thinking about the first scoreline in the first half. You know, how close they were to taking this one away.
What's really painful about this is I still feel like there's only one round that Complexity actually had a shot at winning. And it was the round they won. Other than that, oh my god, this actually looks horrible if you open up the scoreboard. There's what? This is going to be the 9th round that MOVISTAR have won in this half. 8 of them have been bomb plants. 8 of them have been getting into the bomb site. Complexity's never been able to stop a single thing.
A lot of it just save calls as well. The initial defense not holding water. The Holes are desperately trying to white knuckle grip this AWP. At least a small victory in the round for Complexity, but a lot more needed here. There is some cash, extra cash, in fact, on Fang, so we can drop the Floppy if needed. And it will be needed heading into this next. 13-12, MOVISTAR Riders in the lead.
That's too easy of an opening kill, and that's too easy of a follow-up kill as well. I mean, this is just MOVISTAR not even really attacking into bomb sites, just punishing the movement and the shifting defense of Complexity as they're simply trying to find where to position themselves. I mean, I can't even really tell if it's a wonderfully called T-side or just an abysmal defense that we've had so far from Complexity. It's probably a combination of both. I think Complexity's just like, thank God MOVISTAR called a timeout.
Yeah, they can use it to have a say and try and figure this out, but...
To win by bomb plants in 8 of 9 rounds is crazy.
Shows that Complexity basically just been falling over wherever you go. It's just nothing working out for them. A lot to learn here for Complexity. When you watch back this demo, if you concede this, well, even if you don't concede it, there's a lot to learn in this second half. Round 26 underway. Complexity at least fighting for mid this time. They're putting some pressure on it. Grim, he's deep in in the midst of battle and gets away with a pick. Now he should just fall back and keep that advantage, throw utility out, and consolidate control.
Yeah, that's got to be a small sigh of relief.
This
So
was
at
like
least-
the only round they won, right? Was when they had Grim get aggressive in middle in the second half.
Yeah, Grim and Fang did it at that point, but I mean, what you've at least taken away, not even the aggression, but finding Davy G, that's the guy who's been able to apply so much pressure in towards Red Room. He's been the linchpin and the pivot point for this offense, so you at least take him out of the equation.
Martinez, a little bit of a gap to play with over the top of the box and the doorway, but Complexity not offering themselves up. They cannot afford to let this one slip, and mid-control once again given to Movistar Riders in the mid-round, but more of a strong defense on the choke points themselves. The bomb leans outside of B. On the back of the Spanish Opera, Martinez.
Even without presence, though, Movistar's applying pressure in middle. Even with nobody there, they've smoked off Donut to deny information. That's pulled Fang over, so Floppy and JT on the defense.
Martinez is quick, but he's going to be held behind the smoke, so no opportunity to bring down JT. 28 seconds left. Here comes the smokes. Here comes the execute from Movistar Riders. Down a player. And 20 seconds remain. Floppy, Molotov put under a lot of pressure, pulls his nades and gets caught. Mopaz pulls the kills back, but 15 seconds still. They have to try and get that bomb down. JT activates and tries to get aggressive, but it's only going Movistar Riders' way.
It's gone horribly wrong. It's all been taken away. Oh, this is a disaster. A 4-on-5, and Movistar just waltz into the B-bomb site.
It's just too easy for them again. Complexity have everything going right. They have the advantage. They have the players in the right spot. They have the smoke going down. They have everything they need. But Movistar Riders, even with the limited time, stay composed and get all the essential kills. No one's fighting back.
I mean, Floppy's caught with a flashbang out inside the bomb site under pressure, not knowing they're pushing through cave. JT pushing down A ramp, misses an opportunity to get a kill and drop from behind because of Floppy's death. This is just collapse in every sense of the word. 11-4 lead at half. Now 12-14 at the close of the map and potentially the close of the series.
Well, scrolling the mind cell of CSGO itself, the HLTV forums, there is a post, is Ancient T-sided now? Well, if you use this as the example, I guess you have to say yes. This map alone is has been crazy how many T rounds have been won.
If you want to go for a small sample size, for sure.
That's my favorite kind of sample size. Main control not really being fought for Complexity this time. They don't really have the resources to do it, so 4 players stack the B site to begin. Mr. Riders just walking in mid. It's the 1-3-1 setup. A passive hold for Mopaz, just locking out B aggression. A little bit of a pressure from Salsol towards A main, but it is the main pack moving towards Donut. At least the one rifle is on A, so this is kind of where you want them to go. But Salsol catches the Complexity aggression. There's the rifle now spotted. Lee stands tall with it. Halzerk trying to force some fights towards Donut, just gets a lot of damage, and now Movistar Riders realize they've got a full minute.
Well, look at Mopaz. I mean, this is great. Oh, he's going to find a kill here. He's just going to waltz into the B bomb site himself, and now you can see everyone booking it. With that mid control, they feel very safe shifting between the maps. Floppy's gone down. Halzerk is here, but he can do so little, and if he doesn't provide something, there's no reason for Grim to even move and come over and risk this M4. Movistar on 15.
Well, we're here, Jason. This did happen. This is incredible.
It's no longer a fun game for North American.
No,
fans.
it was in the
was.
first half. Had them in the first half, as
We
they
had a
say.
good run. We had a good time.
That's all you're allowed today, Jason. One half of North American pleasure, but the Europeans are back. Grim catches out Mopaz, but it's just about a little bit of damage on the way out, at least to pad his stats, because Movistar Riders are very rich right now. They've got a lot of money going into possibly the last round of this series. A swift 2-0 for Movistar Riders might be in the cards here, which is not what I was expecting coming in today. I was on the Complexity hype train coming into this event. I was like, yeah, looking at this group, pretty weak overall. I think Complexity have a real shot at going through.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
Yeah, I've been absolutely burned, Jason.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the North American experience.
It's not fun, Jason. I don't know how you guys do it all the time. It's been like 1,222 days since a North American team won a relevant LAN event.
Yeah, you don't like to see that. That's not a cool stat. Here we go. Complexity's got to rattle off 3 in a row, but first things first, they got to figure out how to stop this offense.
Well, Mopaz, he's up in cave, he's pushing aggressively again. Mopaz knocks out JT, looks to slaughter a second, but this time Floppy finally breaks through to double figures, and he'll smoke off the cave entrance and just try and buy some extra time on this B side. He's got a rotation coming over of Holzerk.
It feels like this whole half there's been like resources for Complexity not in use. Like the rotators are just shifting between the bomb sites, but they're not really providing any confidence or any feeling that they're going to be able to hold on because they don't know what's happening. Grim and Fang again, and Donut again, 2 players positioned here, but no information of what's happening in middle. So it's just Floppy and Holzerk.
Oh, Floppy down the ramp, gets himself 1, not a second though, but it's finally some impact being felt from Floppy, and Holzerk turns, he turns back, oh, lovely shot! And Holzerk keeps Complexity alive for the meantime, but Martinez could make the final blow. And it goes up, but Holzerk says no, Complexity reached 13, and at least a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, and at least 3 players surviving as well, so they've got money, they can drop weapons. 2 more rounds for Complexity to force overtime.
Well, they've only won 2 rounds in this half, so still quite the feat needed for them. But this is a lovely shot from Holzer.
It's even very lucky, you
very
should
lucky,
say. Like
yeah.
the fact that that very easily could have been a 2-on-2, and who knows what happens. Deep Molotovs,
aggressive.
yeah, deep nades, but no one pushing down mid for Complexity. So Davy G is going to have his runway in middle open, as we've seen time and time again in this half.
And so often with this, they've been able to find success in the round. So Holzer just posted, just holding if they come into the red room. But again, that Molotov comes in, tries to force him further back, but he realizes sometimes you just got to stand and fight. Hold your ground.
I think he spotted that. I think he spotted a little shoulder. Flashbang comes in. Timing shot is there. Holzerk nails it.
What a time to come alive it would be for Holzerk to draw this all the way back to overtime. Still, Movistar Riders have the mid control. They're still applying pressure towards red room.
Alex has a smoke as well. So, I mean, if they actually want to attack this and aggress and use this as a launching point to get into a bomb site, you can choose.
Smoke Holzerk off.
Yeah, they can smoke Holzerk off and wrap around A.
Oh, no. Floppy gets caught inside of cave, and after such a big round in the previous, his death now evens up the numbers.
It evens it up, which is unfortunate, but it doesn't cause any kind of a real shift because Holzerk was already here from watching mid from deep away, but it does actually pull his eyes off middle. Martinez now in towards Donut. That's Fang to go down. Grim is up
There's
next.
a second player. That's
He's
the
dropped the bomb.
That's a massive kill to find. The bomb now loose in middle, but Mopaz is just fighting his way through the B side. 2 more kills. It's all on Grim.
Need another Grim job.
And they're going down in middle. Can they survive the Grim job? He's got a hold from the Donut. And Grim is holding. Spots around the corner. Just 1 headshot. And that is a heartbreaking way to lose a map of Counter-Strike.